Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Geebz here. Good morning. Well, I've got a brand new band here on the channel, and the band's name is Bruit. Bruit? There's an I in it, so it's not Bruit, it's Bruit probably. And this is a live performance, and it's called The Machine is Burning. This is a long track, so I'm going to get right to it. I want to thank you guys like usual for your suggestions, for leaving comments, for liking, for sharing the videos. That's super cool beans. And of course, you know, you want to buy me a cup of coffee or check out the Patreon or my headsets, the links are down below. So let's do this. Like I said, this is going to be a long track. It is live, so I look forward to that. And I'm going to be doing more live videos. I know I said I would do that earlier this year, but I'm getting on it now. So here we go. This is Bruit, The Machine is Burning, a live performance. All right. Okay, it looks like this is a very long, involved piece in this intro. You know, I saw the band thumbnail, so I knew there was a band. I wasn't expecting this long of that type of an intro, and I loved every bit of it. Very emotionally emotive, if you would. And it's not a dark, heavy performance that started off with the organist. What I thought was really cool was you can hear, if you go back and you listen to it, you can hear, I don't know if it's valves or something, you can hear the valves opening up, you know, when she's playing that organ. This is live, obviously. I love the fact that they are relying strictly on the cathedral's reverb, and for those of us that have DAWs and stuff like that, there's usually always a cathedral setting in reverbs for these long, ethereal kind of vibes and stuff like that. I can imagine if these guys really start pounding and getting really heavy, how that's going to sound might be kind of washy and stuff. The brass section coming in, if I recall, there was French horn, trombone, and a trumpet. I'm not sure. It really didn't zone in on it a lot. Did you notice when that came in? When they came in, it kind of feels like a blanket that kind of wraps you. You know, in the way that horns do a lot of times, in these very soft passages or these very soft parts of arrangements and stuff, they're there to kind of lift you and give you a little bit of a, and then they start coming in, and I've never seen that thing on the cymbal, those things. I mean, I've seen the little screws and cymbals to make things rattle, but that's really unique and cool. And then with the cello, now I think that's the band that's up there. The cello is a very unique sound. So I don't know if it's passing through some kind of a effects send or something, if he's got something there, or maybe by virtue of miking or something. It's got a very unique sound and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of like stop right now, because if it gets really into it and we start getting into a really emotional part of this thing, I don't want to ruin it by stopping. I have to say though, I was a little bummed when when they're moving, whatever it is, they're moving from the car and the car doors slam. It kind of took a little bit of the zen out of it, because I started getting so into it. And then they put, the background, effects of that part of the video. It doesn't, I'm not bummed. I was like, oh, kind of threw me off a little bit of my chi. All right, here we go. All right, I got to stop somewhere. This is absolutely huge in this kind of like ethereal kind of vibe. Technically, as far as, chord changes and stuff, I think without a doubt, the emotion they want to pull from us is like this just soul-lurching heaviness in kind of a drift. Because everything are these long power chords and stuff, really relying on the cathedral sound. This must have been hell to mix in separating, at least the overhead mics with the drums has got to be picking up everything. I mean, this I would have loved to have watched this go down on the engineering point of view. Obviously, they're building into this huge, movement here, and you don't need a lot. I mean, it's to feel and to be pulled in by music, you do not have to have 15 chords and big solos and stuff. Sometimes, if you just lock yourself into a really great pattern and you build on it, especially for pure listeners, musicians, we're going to have our own different point of view of things always. But as far as the pure listener is concerned, there's thousands of songs that have 2 chords in it, 3 chords in it, that never change a pattern, but they build in their production. And at the very end, you're pulled. It's triggered some kind of emotional response for you. Now, this is obviously extremely powerful. I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody gets upset because I'm not comparing the genre. But it's got that shoegaze thing in the sense that shoegaze also allows chords to ring out and allows the ambience to really take you through that journey. Shoegaze, yes, it's a lot more, they trick out digital things and do all kinds of stuff. But as far as that long ambience, and in this case, this is extremely powerful. And then, excuse me, like I said earlier when I was listening to the cello, and I said, well, okay, that's not an organic sound. He's running through a board. I noticed they've got a shit ton of pedals down there, so they've really worked on that sound and stuff. But this I'm pulled on this one. I'm fully in on it. So I'm just not going to say anything for the rest of this. So here we go. Oh God, I love that sound of the ethereal, the reverb of a cathedral. First of all, that cathedral is absolutely beautiful, man. That was crazy. I love, this was like a gigantic, glorious climb to the top of something emotional for me. I could have seen this in dozens of movies, the victorious ending of a war kind of a thing, as far as a piece of music. Well, and it started to transition to some more changes and stuff after, when I first stopped and realized it was an emotional setup, and I said what I said on my second stop. In this case, it really bloomed and really got really fat and wide. And then there was like effects artifacts that were happening that I thought, no, is that a synth? Is that And the truth be told, this was a live performance, accordingly. So the guitar player obviously had a lot of effects going on, and I saw when he came off the strings and stuff, and I can hear, he had a long delay going, but then there were some other effect artifacts that were popping up in there. And then there was a couple times where I heard the grittiness of something. I go, synth? No, wait a second. It's the trombones, it's the horns that are performing very hard and very aggressively, which, if horn rips that are very, that even what I do with my voice, it's got that darker, rippier sound in it. It's not a smooth, performance. How they perform it gives it a buzz and very powerful. And you hear a lot of that in movies too. Like for instance, the camera pans and you see there's a great scene in the Game of Thrones where the Queen Lady walks away and the Iron Fleet's out there and the guy turns and you see the Iron Fleets and you just know those are like five or six trombones going, that kind of thing. That sound was just cutting through. It was great sound as far as live is concerned. A couple times you saw me going like this with the organist. I'm going, is she going to drop into the major? No, she hits the minor. It keeps it really dark and heavy, which is kind of a sound that we're used to. I mean, most people who think of a church organ think of something very scary and horror, movie. Not that it's a church organ in an organ that's religion that's scary. I'm just saying in general the performance of organs when it comes to theater and stuff like that usually is very ominous and stuff, and that's exactly what this piece was. Extremely ominous, and they were really, really into their performance, and that to me also, visually that sells it. Anyhow, you guys take care of yourself. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still here, type it, I'm still here. Have a wonderful day. And got a long form coming for you tomorrow. Take care. Aloha.
All right.